Welcome everyone to day 2 of the 14th annual winter workshop series. I'm Andre Thompson. I will be speaking this morning. I would like to let you all know that I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you could be with us today, and anyone you notice with the WW in front of their name will be part of the the people that are organizing this workshop. And I would like to pass it to Isabel Niera Sanchez. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for this wonderful introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today in this morning session, Winter 2021. I will introduce our wonderful speaking Namibia. I'm so sorry for that. Namibia seeks to renew people's sense of identify so they feel empowered to tell their own story. A solicited public speaker for over 10 years. She has been invited to speak an international conference to represent youth voice in labor, race, international relation issues in Cuba, Libya, Mexico, and US. She is CEO of Libellula Vision LLC, where she supports people who wish to turn their passion into a sustainable business. She has spent over a decade facilitating workshops and professional developers or schools, community organizations, and agencies in New York City. She co-founded Artists Love Action, which use art as vehicle for education and social justice to strengthen leaders and help grow the next generation of dreamers and doers. Using an art integrate participant-centered approach, she designed programming that helps people make an impact on their community. So multimedia and theater production. Namibia is an adjunct professor teaching theater and public speaking for CUNY, Borough, Manhattan, and Community College. She is an immigrant Afro-Latin from Panama, a seeker of spiritual wisdom, a new mother, and honored to be here with you all today. Thank you, Professor Namibia, for being here with us.
Namibia, you're muted.
Thank you for receiving me here so much. Thank you so much for that introduction. And good morning to everyone. Jason, thank you for inviting me to be at one of my favorite places of the year, which is here with you all, the Hostos community. And looking forward to getting started. First, I'm actually going to shift cameras in a little bit of a video production. And I realized that my light is a little bit dim from this other one. So I'm gonna take a couple of moments to just put this light on here so that we can see each other better. And so you see me doing a little light. And I'm gonna ask you if that works. Let's see. Ironically, it looks like my cell phone is the better light. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna stay with my cell phone for a while because I feel like this is definitely the most clear for right now. Welcome to the day. Gratitude once again to be here today. My workshop is called Love in the Time of Pandemic. And one of the things that I love to do is to work with people to create processes of excavation and thought and reflection and creation to bring out the things that sometimes we keep inside. To bring out joy is going to be our focus today, to think about where are the places where we can be strengthened within each other. And most of all, how can we resist the overall troubles and the challenges that have been facing us in this past year through not tools in the outside world, but through looking in and through connecting with ourselves in a way that's going to make us more powerful and also inspire us to then create and put things out in the world. So my theory, my philosophy, and what I feel like I have learned in these past few years is that so many of the answers that we're looking for are inside, and that we are all meant to be creators in this world. So we're also going to be doing some active work and just getting up and moving around and finding things in the house and playing. So I'm going to check in with how many people are here, who's here today. Okay, I see people are, okay, so it was 9 in the beginning and 24, so it seems like people are still coming in a little bit. All right.
Yes, forgive me, I just got up. I am not decent at the moment.
Come and take your time to come to the video. It's no worries about that. There will be plenty of ways to participate. So I want to check in the chat. Okay. So I'm going to put a question here on the whiteboard. So if you could create something and you knew that you had all that you needed to bring it to life, what would that something be? How many of you play video games? Show or raise a hand or make some kind of sound. Yes, okay, one person. Anybody else play video games? Anybody play? Yeah, okay, I see another hand raised.
Like a lot.
Okay, some not at all. Do you know that there are some games where you can create buildings and you can create potions and you can choose your own jackets and you can choose all these other things?
I think Roblox would probably be one of those games. My daughter plays Roblox and she creates a lot of things with that one.
Yes, Roblox, yes. Those kinds of games, the Roblox, the Minecraft, the games that are actually very popular right now with young people, and thank you for sharing that about your daughter, are games that actually are different from maybe the ones that I used to play growing up. I didn't have too much access to systems, but I definitely got in there whenever I could. The games in the past were all about going into the scenario where we were in and beating the scenario, fighting the bosses and getting the right technique and then winning at the end. However, there are games now that have shifted the way that we think about video games, and they actually allow for you to create your own world. You explore the world, you can create a building, you can create your powers, you can do all these kinds of things. So I want to know from your perspective, if you think about what's happening, anything that you would like to create, you have the power of the pen and creation. What is it that you would bring into the world? It can be anything. It can be a building, it could be a super person, it could be a game, anything that you could create. So just take a moment. I want everybody to think about it a little bit and start putting that into the chat. I'm going to start reading just some while we're here. And a few of you will also have the opportunity to share a little bit more and expand. And I'm seeing that people are writing a book. Oh, okay. There's somebody here who want to write a book, a movie, to decorate a room, maybe an educational series. These are great. I'm gonna let you keep working on this. These are excellent. And I hope that everyone here actually writes something. And take the opportunity, even if you think, oh, this is kind of silly. Maybe what you want to create is something that you make, some kind of food, right? But if you could put something in the world that you know would make the world better, more exciting, something that comes from you, what would it be? Take about another minute, one more minute.
La travesía, recuerda que de cansancio se te ha abierto ya la herida. Comprendo que de muy joven improvisaste la vida, solucionaste tu poco, pero avanzaste deprisa. Así te veo yo. Saliendo a cuida, 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 la deja, cuida, cuida, se escapa la vida, cuida, 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 no te vayas a olvidar.
So let's take a look at that was a song by a Afro-Panamanian singer from Brooklyn named Maelka Prado, just to get us into some vibes for the morning. So let's see. Wow, very special. I love seeing how many different kinds of things are being expressed in the chat. Wow, I see a house by the water with a stairway to infinity. A cure to an illness. Wow. So let's bring some names into the space. I'm reading them as they come in, but can we actually share our name and what you would bring into the space, and actually share what year you are, if this is your first session. I believe that there are a few new people today, And let's see, I'd love to know what your major is. So we're gonna do that check-in and just get to know each other a little bit better before we break out, because we're gonna be doing a lot of collaborative work today. So for the check-in, I would like for you, we're gonna go down the list and we're gonna say your name. Whoops. And I'm writing it in the chat. Your name. Your major. Is this your first leadership? And what you would create. So it's right there in the chat. Can we start with Kim? Kim's the first person that wrote in.
Excuse me, Namibia, but I see we have a hand raised. I don't know if someone has a question. Ria?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was that was from before. I need to put it down. I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you for being diligent. I appreciate that. Thanks for that support. Okay, so let's see. If somebody else would like to start, that is okay too. But we're just gonna go down the list of everyone and you're just gonna say your name and just a couple of these other things so we can get to know each other a bit better.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Kim Lloyd. I'm from Hostos Community College. This is my first Leadership Academy session, like the session, and this is my second day of being in the session, and my major is Aging and Health Studies, and I wrote down that I would make a beautiful park. Since we've been in the pandemic, we have been inside for such a long time that I just want to walk in a park and just see trees and grass and flowers, because I'm crazy about flowers, and just be outside. So a beautiful park. That's it.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're gonna pass over the mic over to someone else. So let's see, maybe you can.
I'll go.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, get myself the way. My name is my whole name is Chancellor Alvarez Lavelle Clinscale Shealy, but we'll go by Chance. My major is currently mathematics. I was considered being a math teacher. This is, I believe, my second leadership summit, actually. And what I would create is some sort of bonding experience. I was trying to figure out what type of trip or, kind of experience I would create, but I know it'd be something along the lines of that, especially because on the side, I do plan trips together with my friends anyway.
Okay. Nice. Like retreats and things like that.
Something like I'm thinking maybe it might be like a exploration tour or something.
Very awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Can you pass along that microphone?
I will pass the mic to Isabel.
Thank you so much for passing the mic. Good morning, everyone. My name is Isabel Neira Sanchez. I am alumni from Hostos Community College. I am a member of Leadership Academy, this wonderful program. And right now I am a senior at Lima College. My major is Health Service Administration. And I would like to make or create a lot of things, but I will mention at least 2 or 3. I will create a little book about plants because my family and I, we love plants and flowers. And I have some plants here. With my kids, this is my future project. And also I would love to create different kinds of dishes, healthy dishes, of course, because I love to cook too. And series, like educational series, maybe Bible series or for everyone, but short series. Thank you so much. I will pass my mic to Andre. Andre.
Thank you, Isabel. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Andre. My major is fine arts. I'm also an alumni of Hostos. This is not my first summit meeting. It's probably around my third or fourth, around there. And something I would like to create is I would like to create a business. And yes, now I would like to pass the mic on to Estelle.
Yes, beautiful.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Estelle Ngambi. Yes, thank you. Yeah, my name is Estelle Ngambi, and I'm an alumni from Hostos, also part of Leadership Academy. I'm currently at Lehman. I'm majoring in sociology and double minoring in early childhood education. That's my one of my minors. My second minor is women's and gender studies. And by God's grace, I should be graduating this semester, this spring. What was the other one? I think I answered all. Something that I would like to create, I think natural medication, like natural remedies. Yeah, I'm into those kind of stuff. I'm more about nature. So if I could help people with that, yeah. Oh, I need to pass on the mic.
Congratulations too on your upcoming graduation. Yes, pass the mic, Estelle.
Thank you. I'll pass on the mic to Steve. Steve, are you there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve. I'm from Hostos. My major is computer science. Probably this is my last semester. So I will create, I think, I don't know. I will create a company, a business, something like, you know, agency to help people to go everywhere in Africa. That's my plan. Thank you very much. I will pass the mic. Let me see the name again. Shemai James. Sorry for my pronunciation. Shemai James. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My name is Shemaine James. I just recently graduated from BMCC. Like I finished like the fall semester was my last semester. I majored in psychology, and I would like to create a business based on spirituality and psychology.
Thank you. Could you please go ahead and pass that mic?
I'd like to pass the mic to Chris, Darren. Jones.
If Darren's not ready to go, then go ahead and pass it to someone else. I would recommend everyone look in the chat and pass it to someone who's already written their check-in.
Okay, I see here, Miss Chisholm. She wrote she's an alumni from BMCC. Her major is biology at City College, and this is her first leadership summit. And she would like to create a home for the needs and make a healthy cure for illness. And she can't talk right now, so yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
I'll go. My name is Colleen Mcdonald. I am a student from BMCC. I just finished my last semester during the fall semester. My major was psychology. I did my first leadership program with them, and now this is my second time doing it with the Hostos. And I would like to create a business as well, but I'm still trying to figure things out. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Thank you. I'll pass the torch to Rayon Chan.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. And my name is Rayon Chan, and I'm majoring in accounting. This is my last semester at Port of Manhattan Community College, so I'll be graduating very soon. Super excited. And something that I would love to create. I did mention like there are so many things on my bucket list, but if I would do like I would create a book like a book that is all about success, coming from a poverty home, that was so not fortunate enough to, to be able to get, and explore and take advantage of all those opportunities from a country that is, so lack of all these things and coming to this land that is full of opportunities. I would definitely like to write a book on that. And actually, this is my first time at the Hostos training session, and yeah, this is my second day. So that's about it for me. And I will now pass the mic to James Hardy. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for calling in Heidi.
Welcome, James Hardy.
I don't know if James is able to speak. He uses his mic rather. Maybe pass it to someone else.
I will go next if James is not ready.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you. My name is Ria Frankie. You can call me Ria or Rhea. My parents call me Rhea. This is my last semester at BMCC. I'm planning to, I already have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so I am planning to pursue a master's degree in CUNY SBS grad school, majoring in, they actually accepted me already, a master's in youth studies. And this is my first time taking a summit. And I'm really, really grateful and thankful to be here. I'm learning a lot just by listening to other people's, like what, like their dreams, and if ever they can co-create something. And this has been super helpful. If I can do anything, and what was the question? I'm sorry, I have to go back to it. I wrote in the chat, I said, if I can create something, it would be the power to make people realize that we all can be co-creators and have the ability to be anything we want to be for the good of the collective. During the lockdown, I've realized that I have been sleepwalking all my life. And, I've been awakened and realized that, I can actually be part of the good of the collective and, learn to be in alignment so I can be of use like help the world to become a better place, because I have been a stay-at-home mom, and like when I say sleepwalking, I have been contented. Like, I thought that I would be content in being like just a stay-at-home mom and not do anything. And then I realized, hey, you know what? I can actually be better than this. So that's what I mean, become co-creators and be part in making the collective a better place. Thank you. And I'd like to pass the mic to Christine. Did Christina go already? Or Judy Powell?
I could go.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I graduated from BMCC last spring, and I attended their leadership summits. Currently, I'm at John Jay, majoring in criminal justice. And if I were to create something, it will probably be like a virtual reality headset that allows people to like live through and feel the emotions of someone else's life, because people often like say like assume like, oh, if like I took someone else's path, I could do it like, way better, like they didn't have to make the decisions they made. So it would like so it would be like for them to actually step in their foots and to see like why they made the decisions they made, and if it's not so easy to make certain decisions. And that would be something I would make. um I would pass it to, did Kim go?
I think Kim went already.
Yes, I went already. I was the first person, but thank you.
uh Sally, or I'm not too sure, or Preston.
Can I go? I'm Maria Neira.
Hi, Maria, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, my name is Maria Neira. I am from Hostos. Currently, I study business management. This is my second leadership summit. I would like to create a company about a business and help other people who want to learn more about a business. I pass to James.
I believe James isn't able to speak right now. Would you like to pass it to someone else? Maria?
Brian Almonte. O Rena dos Santos. For someone
Okay,
who is ready.
Reina just put in the chat that she's sorry she can't speak. How about I'll just pass it to someone maybe. How about Brigitte? Would you like to go, Brigitte?
Andre, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Bwampundi Bridget Tambiano. I think it's my second winter workshop, and I'm graduating in business management in spring 2022 semester at Hostos. I think if I have a power to create something, I would like to create a universal food bank where people can drop stuff who they don't use it, like food, and it will be if you can go there, is only for you take what you can use, and then I think it can combat the food waste. Like people don't have to stock up the food, and they just go get what they need, and everybody will get something. I know everybody at home have something who they don't need, but it will stay there until it get bad. That's I'm thinking. Sorry.
Thank you, Brigitte. Would anyone else like to go? Oh, sorry. Sally's just put in the chat. She's just listening. She's at work. Would anyone else like to participate? Feel free.
Good morning. My name is Judy Powell, and I am a first-year student at Hostos, majoring in LPN. There are two things that I'm passionate about, which is teaching and caregiving. The thing that I would like to create is, as I put in the chat before, is happiness, a portion for happiness. But I would like to have something like, my business idea is to create this nice building in the mountains near a lake where you have serenity and people could come for a weekend just to relax, get a dip in the lake, walk around, smell the flowers and things like that. That's my passion. Thank you.
I'm coming. Invite me.
Anyone else? Thank you, Judy.
This is great, and I'm happy that so many people are lending their voice and creations to this. Is there anyone else that would like to go?
Yes, good morning. My name is Rose Darbuz. I am a student at Hostos Community College. I will be graduate this semester in liberal art and pursue my education at Lehman for social work. This is my first, I was here yesterday with one of the speaker, but yeah, this is my first. And if I would like to create something, it will be education for kids all over the world. Education and food security. That's what I want to create. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Rose. Okay, maybe I'll pick again. I'll pass the mic to Colleen Mcdonald.
I already went, thank you.
Okay. How about Doreen Jones?
And also, everyone doesn't have to go. So it's okay for people to write in the chat. And then if there are some people that are not going to lend their voice to it, that's okay too, because we have plenty of opportunities to be in connection. So this is nice and important for us to get to know each other a little bit and just come into the space, because not all of us know each other. but it's okay if there's someone else. So let's see, maybe this can be the last check-in.
Okay, last person, and would anyone like to participate?
All right, so it sounds like we're complete, and so exciting to see so many of the different ideas that have been brought in. It brings up a few different things to me. It brings up the idea that people are thinking about this. One, we are actively thinking about what things we would like our world to look like. Because many of you created projects that are complex, not just necessarily that you maybe thought about right now, but things that perhaps have been in your mind and your heart, you're looking around. And so my question to you all is, if these are the things that you would like to create on the outside, what do we need to do as people in order to be able to create what we need for it to happen? What do we need to create on the inside in order for these things on the outside to be able to happen? Just take a moment to think about that a little bit. And I'd love to hear from 3 people. So what do we need to create on the inside in order to be able to create the things that we want on the outside? Colleen says, believe in ourselves and trust ourselves. Okay, belief and trust. Okay. What is another element that's important to be able to create? What do we need to create on the inside for ourselves in order to be outside?
We have 2 hands raised, Ria and then Estelle.
I really love this topic because I've been learning about this since the lockdown. It's about being mindful. It's mindfulness and the ability to learn to realize that everybody has their own unhealed childhood traumas, and that if we actually realize that, we would be able to be more empathetic and empathize and learn to be more tolerant of other people. So mindfulness and realizing that in order for us to be everyone to be in alignment to what we are really destined and what, our purpose, go in alignment with our purpose in life, we have to be able to realize that everybody is going through their own journeys, and that we all have our own, unhealed traumas in our childhood. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you brought that topic up. So I'm gonna take some notes here. So we said belief in self and mindfulness.
Estelle, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Yes, so my belief is that in order to do that, like as Namibia said, what is it that is inside that we can tap into that can bring forth that on the outside? For me, I think it's personal conviction, that passion from our deeper core, and it all comes to love. That because love surpasses everything, be it your ethnicity, religion, race, class, whatever that is. So if you have that inner your personal conviction, your passion, it has to be based on love. I could be wrong, but that's
Thank you, Estelle. Kim, maybe you want the last one, Kim Lloyd.
Who was actually the first person that shared? I want to make sure that I write in.
I believe that was Rhea.
I think she was the second person. The first person said belief in self.
That was me, Colleen.
Colleen, thank you. So we have 3 different people with 3 learned experiences and approaches.
Hello? I'm sorry. I thought I was talking, but y'all couldn't hear me.
Okay.
My name is Kim, and we were talking about, ourselves and our feelings. I would put it down. I would put my ideas down on paper. How I feel about my project. Like, for instance, I was talking about building a beautiful park, and I would write down all the things I would want to have in the park, like exotic trees and plants, and put it all down on paper so that when I met someone who had the same idea that I had, we can, discuss it. But that's what I would do. I would put it down on paper, my ideas to how to make the beautiful park. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. So let's see. I'm ready. Putting on paper your ideas from Kim. Whoops. Putting on paper your ideas. So if I can go ahead and synthesize the things that have come up in order to be able to be creators in the outside world, what do we need to have on the inside in order to make that happen? Well, first, it sounds like we're acknowledging that there is a relationship between what we do on the outside and what happens in the world and what happens within us. We as individuals, as peoples, as communities have the ability and power to create and make and unmake and destroy and recreate. So what are the things that make the difference between how we are showing up and creating in our world? Well, 4 wise people have said, 1, we need belief in the self. And of course, if you agree with that, go ahead and write that in the chat. You need to believe in yourself. That we need to have a sense of mindfulness, healing, the ability to heal from our trauma, and being able to have a sense of, what's happening here on the inside, right? In order to create on the outside, we have to know what's going on the inside. Estelle says, love. It all comes down to a sense of love. That is what you need for all the things, right? So, and Kim says, putting down on paper your ideas. This sounds right here like we could actually be creating our own game plan, right? Beginning with being able to be mindful, checking in with the self, making sure that you're putting your ideas on paper, believing yourself, and then executing with that sense of love. I mean, it sounds like you are coming from a very enlightened place, a place with a lot of experience. So what can we do during this time here to dip into that well of creativity, of what we need in order to go back into the world and show up as our full express selves? I like to think of creation not just as something that, is a painting or something that you do, but creation is how you are expressing yourself in the world. Going from things like making a building to being able to create a curriculum or a lesson plan for people to learn. That is all part of how we are defining creation and expression. I have a question. How many of you have ever meditated?
I meditate every day.
Okay. So we have a hand, we have someone that says they meditate every day. Does everyone is everyone, what do we think of when we think meditation? Are we clear on what meditation is?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people. Great. Okay, excellent. So there are many people who have their hands up and that already have a practice of meditation. I want to say that I want us to define the idea of meditation as something that allows for you to be able to check into your own truth, to go inside to yourself. And that can look like you sitting down very still and very quiet and just taking some moments to be still. That is one form of meditation. Another form of meditation can be walking around. It can be going for a run. It can be taking 10 minutes to have some paint in front of you and just going with whatever flows. Meditation can be much different from the notion of that you need to be still. In fact, a lot of people struggle with living in a society that moves so quickly and then going to complete stillness, and actually find that something like dancing, going into a wonderful dance, can be a form of movement meditation. So maybe some of you are already doing that personal practice of going inside, and maybe that you don't call it that. But for these purposes, I want to call anything that has to do with you going in and dipping into your personal reservoir of tools as your moon time. I've been calling it my moon time, all the things that have to do with what's inside of me. So let's go into something that's going to help to activate the ability for us to be part of that inside, that moon work. And as someone with background in acting and teaching, a big way that I do that for myself is with movement. Before I am still and I ask of my body, hey, can you just be really still and not think about, or just don't chase the thoughts, but allow for you to be plugged in with your higher true self. We move. So let's all go ahead and make some space. You can remain sitting if you want, but I recommend that you stand, and we're gonna get started and do some warm up with our bodies. For this, I'm going to bring my other computer,
Before you go though, I think all of this, you're talking from within, but it's not everybody are intrinsically motivated. So it definitely, you just have to have that motivation that comes deeply from within for us to do certain things. Although we have all these ideas and everything, but if we are not motivated from inside, we cannot go on.
I think that that's very important, because that gets to the next round of questions that are important for creation is what is in the way? What is in the way of us being connected with ourselves and our truth? And part of what I think and why I share this physical exercise is because sometimes our own bodies can be in the way, our own thoughts can be in the way of ourselves. So as a collective, as a group, as a unit, before moving forward with activity, I want us all to get up and check in with ourselves. So, and so that we can continue this discussion and we can continue the exploration. So everyone go ahead, let me see if I can. So you stand, do you see me? May need to back up a little bit more. Okay, so let's check in with our physical bodies. The fact that we are people who have physical bodies, that not just our minds, not just our hearts, but that we have this kind of spaceship on Earth that we can move around. So let's check it out. The first part of the spaceship is our feet. So can we all just go ahead and wiggle our toes a little bit? Let's wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes. And now come up and down on your feet. Like if you're gonna just, like if you're reaching for something up top. Nice, nice. You're reaching for something. Oh, you can get that leg up. Nice. Up. Nice. Okay, and now go ahead and put your hands on your toes, on your knees. Wiggle your knees a little bit. The idea is to actually feel how it feels. If there's any kind of tension that you have here in your knees, shake it out. And breathe in with your nose and out. Now you're gonna move your attention up here to your center.
Call from front.
Namibia, we lost you.
Front.
Okay, you're good. You're muted, Namibia.
You said you lost me?
Yes, waiting in the final.
Your picture that we saw like just a few seconds ago. Now you're back.
Okay. All right, so coming to the center, and we're gonna go ahead and move the midsection a little bit. And that's my baby, that's Raul, wanting to find out how he can get in on some action and some movement. And just take a chance. What are the things that are tense? What are the things that are kind of stuck? And move the energy around. Do a little shake. Nice. Now bring some attention into your stomach. And we're gonna move through some of the stomach. The stomach accumulates a lot of things. This is the place of stability. This is the place of security. So when we're not feeling stable, we're not feeling secure, a lot of stuff accumulates here in the stomach and in the gut. And especially the times that we're living right now, there's a lot of stuff. So there's a seed mantra that I've learned that allows for us to kind of move and realign that stomach chakra, that stomach energy center. And it is simply by focusing on the stomach and saying, can we all try it? One more time. Nice. So, and hopefully whatever, any energy that's stuck, anything that's like, there, we're waking it up, we're moving it around, we're going back up to our chest. Ready? And now here in the heart area, any of the things that have to do with emotions, that have to do with what we are feeling, we're passionate about, things that we're seeing, whether it's justice, whether it's injustice, all these things in the heart. Let's go ahead and do some moving of the heart and say, yam, yam, yam. Bring it up to your throat. Now this is the space where the messages come, the messages go, and that is anything that you have to say to yourself, to the world. Maybe you have a conversation pending. Sometimes over here, this movement gets stuck. Maybe you haven't been talking. This is your first session of the day, so let's move it around. And now the space of your head, move the energy up, 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 and Carefully move to your left, the neck. Very carefully move to your right, the neck. You need to move it a little bit. And up to the ceiling and down, and up and down, and up and down. And now we're gonna do something called walks. So it doesn't have to be a lot of space, but whatever space you have, I'm gonna give you some directions. And when the music goes, when the music is on, you follow the directions, right? You're gonna walk like this thing. And when the music stops, you freeze. So feel free to turn on your cameras. This is gonna be a fun opportunity for you all to play, together, and you can turn off your cameras afterwards if you'd like. Of course, I know some people are saying that they are, they're at work or they're watching or listening, but if you have the opportunity to, this will be a fun opportunity to do an activity on video. So I'm gonna put music on, and as long as the music is on, you walk, just walk around. And freeze. Okay. So the next time the music comes on, I want you to walk around like if you lost a ring. Like if there's a ring and you can't find it, you're looking for it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Saliendo a caminar. Cuida, 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 se escapa la humildad. Cuida, consejos de cuida.
Freeze. Okay. Now you're gonna walk as if you are walking through very sticky mud. There is mud all over the floor. And when the music comes on, okay? 3, 2, 1. There's mud.
No siempre son los valientes los que dicen la verdad. Confía que la mentira te lleva a la oscuridad. Camina por la sombrita y resígnate a la verdad.
Free. Okay. This walk, you're gonna walk around and your hands cannot be used. You're walking, but you cannot use your hands. Your hands are busy with something else. Ready? Get your hands ready. And 3, 2, 1.
No, la realidad. Aquí te dejo yo. Y vas, saliendo a caminar. Cuida, pica la tela. Cuida, se escapa la humildad. Cuida,
one. I want you to walk around, be very careful, but I want you're actually in a place where you cannot open your eyes. You don't actually have this eye. The only eye that you can use is the one in the middle, right? So when I turn on the music, you close these two eyes and open this one up, right? You're in a world where anything is that you imagine. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Other parts of you. You cannot use your eyes. How else can you get to know your room? Right? How else can you get to know your room? Think about other things that you can use, right? You can use your hands, you can use your arms, you can use your feet, but try to touch things around so that you can utilize other parts and get to know the room around you. Nice. And stop. Okay. Let's bring it back. Let's come back all together. Now, I have a question. Did you walk the same way with every single instruction? No. I see Kim, no. Isabel, no. I see the chat, no. Okay. What was different? What changed? Share your experience.
Because the instructions.
Okay. And what was different about the way that you moved with the different ones?
When I was like listening to music and only walking, it's like my hands is everyone I want. But when you say hold something, and I just walking different. And also when you say like find a ring, your ring, like I need to walk different from like my back to getting something to find the ring. Yeah, and also when you say close your eyes is like so more relaxing for me.
More relaxing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have to say, I almost felt like one point I was a baby, one point I was an old person, one point it's just different forms.
That was profound. That's so profound what you said. Just by the physical instructions, it brought you to different places where you felt like almost in different stages of life.
Yes.
That's profound. I appreciate you sharing that. I see that also on the chat. Thank you, Chance. Ria says, when I had my eyes closed, I was more careful. I had to rely on my other senses to guide me when my eyes was closed. Yes.
I was moving with uncertainty.
Okay. Moving with uncertainty.
Yeah, and it keeps you thinking, where next to go, what next to do, how to do it.
I appreciate that. And something that I find interesting is it seems like for one person, for you, the having eyes closed caused uncertainty. And for someone else, having eyes closed actually ended up relaxing. Right? It's like, it's good, actually good not to have to keep track of everything. So it makes me, I hear that every direction works differently for different people. So now when we're thinking about this, right, because why are we doing these fun and silly exercises? When we're thinking about us as people, how we move in the world, what we are creating, think about how something so basic, such as how we're walking and what our body is doing, makes a difference in how we are operating, how people see us, how we see each other, how you're thinking differently if your eyes are open versus your eyes are closed. It's 11:11, everyone, make a wish. My family and I, we like to make wishes at 11:11. I'm gonna wish for health and magic for everyone here in this session and your families. So yes, there was a difference. There's a difference when you are physically using all the different levels, right? If you're not looking for something small, maybe you'll miss a few small things, right? If you are always having these two eyes open, which are the eyes that you need in order to see the sun, then you may miss some of the things that this eye is seeing. Everyone close your eyes. And I would like for you to envision a beach. Envision a beach and envision that the sand is very actually dark, gray, with black sand, soft, gentle. Envision and hear the waves kind of crashing. In your beach, you can have any kind of tree that you like, not too many trees, because it's you and the sun. Now see some flying birds going overhead. Okay, open your eyes. Did you see something?
Yes.
In that very quick exercise, we can see that when you close your eyes and you envision something, you're able to see it. And so it makes us have to think, what is this other, how can we see it if our eyes are closed? Right? We have been gifted visions beyond the visions that are happening with the two eyes. And so when we return back to this idea of how do we create, what do we need to set up on the inside in order to be able to create on the outside? I want to bring to your attention, well, what is it that we're seeing on the inside? Because before something is in the physical form, it is a thought. Or before we create on the outside, we have to imagine it first on the inside. So let's continue to build this method, let's continue to build our tools so that our insides are good. So we've begun with moving around. We have checked in with our physical body. We've begun to do things that are a little bit outside of the norm so that we're not doing every traditional thing. And we are checking in now with our mind's eye, with our imagination. Okay. Now, remember there was someone had said, this is really, there are a lot of different ways that we need to be able to kind of break our own barriers. I don't want to misquote you, but I feel like that was really important. So we're talking about belief in ourselves, our mindfulness, our love, our meditation. Those are the things that contribute to the inside world. What is another form of being able to create a tool to support your inside world?
A vision board.
That you all do it? Okay, thank you. Vision board. And why is the vision board an important tool for you?
Because when you like seeing something that I want and placing that energy, and also utilizing like, you know, reality, whereas like I'm just not like, oh yeah, saying that I want something, but saying that I want something and being realistic, working towards it. And also put in the energy, like, okay, I already have it, but it's just not here yet.
Yes, I appreciate that. Okay. So there are physical tools that are, the vision board is a physical tool that can allow for you to have a relationship in that dialogue of what is the thing that you want, what is the thing on the outside, but you're like working with it on the inside as well.
Namibia, you're muted.
Thank you. Before we go to the next section, and what I want to share with you is a short video about the relationship between the yin and the yang. And I want to introduce it to you as a form of how we're exploring this idea of the things that from the inside created on the outside. So I'm going to share my screen. Amor.
So Namibia, you may need to share your sound.
Pardon?
Mute everyone.
I think you need to share your sound too.
Okay.
And the yang is the light one. You might have seen this symbol before, whether it's as a temporary tattoo or at a Chinese temple. It's called the yin-yang symbol. It comes from Taoism, a religion born in China, and it has far more meaning than you probably realize. The yin is the dark swirl and the yang is the light one, and each side has a dot of the opposite color, which gives a clue to the meaning of yin and yang. Everything contains the seed of its opposite. Darth Vader has the seed of goodness, and Luke has the potential to follow his father to the dark side. Like Luke and his father, yin and yang are not total opposites. They are relative to each other. Taoists believe that the universe is made up of energies, vibrations, and matter which behave differently in different contexts. Something can be yin or yang depending on lots of things. So while wheat that's growing is yang, when it's being reaped, it's yin. A wave's crest is yang, and the trough is yin. Villages on the sunny side of a valley in China have names like Luoyang or Shiyang. But on the shady side, for example, of the Yangtze River Valley, there's Jiangyin. The brake is yin to the gas pedal's yang. An eggshell is yang. The egg inside is yin. You think you're getting it? Yang is harder, stronger, brighter, and faster, but one can turn into the other, or are two sides of the same coin. The sunbeams are yang in comparison to the shadows. The pitch is yang, the catch is yin. The yang starts an action and the yin receives it, completes it. Yin is the inside space of a cup. Wouldn't be a cup without it. Yang is the cup. The coffee's heat, however, is yang, and its blackness is yin. Yang goes berserk sometimes, but there's some very powerful yins too, if they don't quite go berserk. Yin is the darker swirl, the female, but there's a white dot in it. And yang is the lighter, the male, but it has a black dot. Water flowing calmly in a river is yin, but when it goes over the waterfall, it's very yang. Toothpicks are yin compared with a telephone pole. The back of a person is more yang than the front. The top of the person is the yang end. Taoism teaches that there is a power in the universe. It's higher, deeper, and truer than any other force. They call it the Tao. It means the way. Like the Force in Star Wars, the Tao has two sides. Unlike other religions where the higher power is all good and perhaps has an all evil rival, Taoism teaches that we need to learn from both yin and yang. And unlike religions with gods that are personal, the higher power in Taoism is not. Taoists believe that living in harmony with the way, a person will not have to fight against the universe's natural flow. So, for example, listen more, argue less. Be ready to back up or undo something, and you will make even faster progress. Don't worry about being the best. Be who you are. Live simply. Complications take you away from the Tao. The wise person is flexible, Taoists say. Learning to use the Tao is what Taoism is all about. And that's why you should know your yin from your yang.
Friends would walk up to me and
Hi, Namibia, I think you're muted.
I'm switching over to video on this computer here. Can everyone see me? Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot to take in and take apart in that video. And one of the reasons that I wanted to share with you is because I think that it does a very good job at asking us to look at the relationship between things that seem opposite, but really have some kind of relation together. And so in our conversation about our sun versus our moon, our inside work versus our outside work, what is the relationship that we're seeing here between what's inside and what's outside? So when they say the blade of grass being in yin, but when it falls off, it's in yang, what I would like for us all to think about a little bit is, what are those states in our lives? What are the yins in our lives? What are the moments of cultivation, of creation, of stillness that are happening or have happened that prepare us for the next part? That prepare us for if we can call it the yin and the yang. What are the yins to our yangs? So let's consider, and this is for you all to please maybe take some notes. You can do some physical notes or on your computer, but I want you to consider the things that you do inside of your home when you are alone. The things that no one else can do for you, that require the time with you and you, or you versus you. And we're going to call this the moon work, right? I want you to, now this is going to be your opportunity to do some self-reflection. So what are the things that for you, I'll give you some examples for myself. So meditation we spoke about, and I love meditation. I love self-improvement, reading books, learning to cook, improving mental health, prayer. So what for you constitutes of that moon work? Write a list down, maybe 3 to 4 things. And you can also write it in the chat. I'm low in volume. Okay, if you have that list of 3 to 4 things, now consider the things that require you to show up outside of your home, outside in the world. Maybe not at your home, maybe show up even in your kitchen, but outside of yourself. Things that require you to get dressed, to go outside, to go out in the public, in the virtual world, and do and say things to advance your life. Let's call this your sun work. What are those things for you in your life right now? And if anyone has a couple they'd like to share, that would be great.
Repeat the question one more time.
What are the things in your life that are the sun work, the things that require you to show up, get dressed, and do and say things outside of yourself? So the moon work is that personal time, things that only you can do with you. But what are the things in your life that are asking you to get up and create outside?
I mean, work would be one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Namibia, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding the question. Is it like, what are the things motivating you to show up outside? Is it like inspiration, or like things that sort of like not really forces you, but like, you know, like sort of motivates you? Like you have no other choice but to show up. Is that, am I, you know, interpreting that correctly?
I think that the idea is whether you want to show up or not, what are those things that, yes, that are calling you? And they can be things that you want to do, like I want to do a podcast, or I want to go help people. But they can also be things that you have to do, you feel called to do, like going to work. So what are the things that make you have to get dressed? You know, you have to look at yourself, you have to go outside and basically be in the light.
Yeah.
Going
Like,
to the church, going to the school or college, I think.
Yes. So we're gonna call those things the sun work. Now, let's draw on the video that we saw about the yin and the yang, and think about this relationship that's happening in our world right now, where we have come almost off of 2 years where a lot of people have been being asked to spend time alone and be to themselves, maybe absolutely more than they would want to. Where we've been asked not to show up in person like we used to, for example, in these workshops, but to stay home and be in the inside. Where sometimes the things that we want to do in the outside world feel like we shouldn't, because maybe if I go visit this person, I may put them in danger with health and the pandemic and all of these things going on. So when we have a state where there are so many things that we may want to do, but we cannot, what are the ways that we can get strong in what we do? And part of what I want us to think about is that there are ways that we can be strong and loving with either the inside work and the outside work. And that really both of them are part of one thing. So whether it is that we need to spend, a week at home, that is inside work that we can take advantage of and use so that when we do show up in the outside world, we are getting ready to create what it is that we want in the world. And when we create in the outside world, we can be fully expressed. Okay, so now we're talking about the outside world. So with the sun, with the sun work that can be expressed through different creations like art, poetry, theater, video interviews, social media posts, writing memes, making music, making something delicious. What are the things that you feel most called to work on and talk about right now? So think back to when we checked in and you said, this is something that I want to create. What is a topic that you all want to create on? And what we're going to do now is you're going to have the opportunity to spend a little time and do some of that creation work. So I want you to choose, let's see, I'm going to put these, I'm going to put it in the share the screen so we can all see. Here we go. Okay, so if we see this kind of inside outside, the evolution of the dark and the light and the action with the stillness and out loud, right? All the different opposites are actually in relationship to each other. So that means that this kind of evolution is very important for growth and for creation of life. So if we're to create something in our life right now, what is that going to be? I want you to think about a topic that you feel is very important. Or you can also take the same check-in and the thing that you want to create in the world. And I want you to utilize your own expression to make a statement about that. So you can choose any of these things to create right now. We're going to have 20 minutes to make. You can either write a poem, you can begin to make a drawing, you can write a meme, you can create any way that you feel called to begin one of those parts of your outside work, the sun work. Now, I feel like might need to translate that direction a little bit better. Should I clarify that a little bit?
Sure, much appreciated.
Okay, so in this next portion, it's going to be your turn to think about that outside work, the things that you want to create in the world. What is it that you want to do? How do you want to show up in the world and express yourself? So instead of seeing expressing yourself as one way, I want to encourage you to think about, well, if I was to express myself and create this thing in the world, it could be any different ways. I can create art piece, I can make some theater, I can make poetry, a video. So I want you to utilize your voice and in order to advocate for yourself, something that you want to create in the world right now. Do we have any questions? Does that make sense? So we're gonna go actually into breakout rooms so that you can all work a little bit together. I'm gonna read the thing: food shopping, hospital, going to visit person, call a friend or family member. Playing video games.
So Namibia, do you want me to put them in some breakout rooms? How do you want me to do that?
I think I may be able to do it from here.
Okay.
Okay, I have the capacity to do breakout rooms here, 4 to 5 participants. All right, I'm gonna put everyone in breakout rooms, and then I'm gonna go around every room and answer questions so that if we want to be more specific, okay? Is everybody here or in the outside?
Came out of the breakout room too quickly.
Did you all take yourselves out of the breakout room?
I did took myself out, but
Yeah,
it
me
seems
too.
my group is not finished as yet.
I think you're muted.
Are we going back into the breakout rooms?
A couple of people, yeah, I think I closed it a little bit too soon. I meant to give them 1 more minute.
Okay.
People are gonna be heading back in.
You're muted.
Yourself.
It was very good, thank you, to go into the individual rooms because every discussion was a little bit different and we were able to clarify and also kind of stretch a little bit about the things that we were thinking about. And I would love to hear what you all came up with. Some of you had ideas that were already ready, right, in the making. Some were taking a little bit more time. So can we hear from group 1, and this will be how we close out. What were some of the thoughts that came up around remember, what is one thing that you need to do on the inside in order to make it happen? What is one step to take in the outside world in order to make your project happen? And then, well, actually in another group, we clarified how would you express that in the world? What is it going to be? I actually could be any group that's ready to share. I know that I was hearing something interesting from Rayon. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. That's correct. So in my group, well, like we were talking about like something like, that's from the inside. So, doing it from the inside, I think it all comes down to the love. Like from the beginning, we've been talking about it. Like you have to get that love and that passion from the inside. Like how would you make it out there in the world? Like, how would you, put it out there? So it starts with love and passion, I would say. And then from the outside, you have to like, I would say like, you know, structure yourself in that form or in that way that you would like to portray yourself out here. For me, I had did mention about a book, right? So in order to write a book, I have to, show that passion. And then from the outside, I have to show like that interest or that zeal of writing that book and putting that book out there, which, it really tells the world about, me as a person of how I would stand out and how I would make a difference and a positive impact on society. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you all they got to think about that and relate it to the yin and the, versus the yang. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me see. There was a group with Crystal. I can actually see who's in which group.
Yeah, it was group number 3.
Anybody from your group? Would you like to just share some of the thoughts that came up?
Sure. I was like playing around with the idea of creating a platform for parents, students like myself, to help, bridge that work school life balance, either by doing something like a tea room on campus or like a blog or a podcast. The yin part of it would definitely be the passion because I'm in the situation. And the yang part of it would be like developing steps to attract the targeted audience. Do I go through the route of doing a club registration process, or do I go solo and set up like a blog or a podcast? And the main thing was, the steps to attract the targeted audience and effective time management, like fitting it in the schedule with school and work and life. So that's what I pretty much came up with.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay.
I'll speak for group 6.
Thank you. Yes, let's go.
What we didn't actually come together with, an ideal, but based upon our talks about how the pandemic impacted us, and how we were adjusting to the new norm. I thought out, our talk about it. And I think the main thing that came out of it is that we did have that time to adjust and self-reflect. And it allowed for us to, really improve upon ourselves or in areas that we didn't have the chance to. So if I could kind of capitalize on the ideal of reflection, I would say that, if we could get like companies and schools involved on 30 minutes minutes for everyone to self-reflect, to put out, I guess, a couple minutes, their ideas on paper or whatever in a group, 30 minutes throughout the day, that allows for them to actually kind of hone in on themselves and actually build upon whatever area that they need to be more productive in. I think it might build more productivity overall, you know, with each individual, whether it's at work or at school or wherever else.
Thank you.
If I may interject for group 6, we were also talking about teaching the elderly how to use a computer, how to use a cell phone, sending a text, and to make them be able, because they're at home alone, and sometimes they can't communicate because they don't know how to use these devices. So if we could put that as a part of the plan in assisting the elderly in technology training, that would be so good too, and good for the society as well.
Thank you. That's right. I came in when you were talking about that. And how important it is. That sounds like growth to me. Thank you so much. And there's one more group. Would you like to share from the last group? Actually, there was nobody in group 5. A few people stayed out here. We heard from group 3. How about group 1? Isabel, Colleen, Shemaine, Venera.
I would like to share, with my group, my classmates. We was sharing, like, my partner, she says she will create a poem about growing plants in the nature, like trees, like everything about nature, she says. And I share my idea and I say, I will create a project, a poem about making a delicious food and also growing plants in my home.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for your time, for your creativity, and for just spending time thinking about the state of things in the world, the state of things inside, and what are the ways that you can bring yourself, your inner self, into this outside world to make not just a difference, but to create. And I think so many times, even when I was beginning to think about what are we gonna, how are we gonna talk about it? There's so often this thought, and Jason, I wonder what you think about this, is we talk a lot about changing the world, right? That's the narrative for my whole generation. I want to change the world. And to close us, I want to just invite us to think about how that is important, but that the world changes because we are in the world. And if you can look back on that video, and I'll send the video on the link so that you can take some time and look at it. The principle, these old ancient principles of yin and yang, show us that there is no way that you cannot impact the world. That everything you say, everything you think, everything you do is in relationship to everything else. And just by you being your amazing you, by loving, by meditating, by being present, by doing these things that you've been thinking, right? Being mindful, you are already creating the reality that exists for yourself and for the others around you. So before you think about what is wrong and what you want to change, let's look in and let's think about what are the moon steps that I need to take today? And then what is one step that I want to take in the sun to get closer to this vision that I have, right? And express it in any of the ways that you feel called. So thank you so much. I hope to see and meet many of you again. And yeah, this is daily work, everybody. Thank you, and share a lot of love during this time.
Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you, Namibia. Sorry, I haven't, I didn't speak at the beginning, folks, and I've been off camera. I don't want people watch me wipe my nose over and over again. I'm fighting this cold. But thank you, Namibia. Let's give her a great round of applause, virtual or otherwise, however you like to do it. Truly appreciate you joining us. Namibia used to come in person when we used to do the full day workshops, 8:30 to 5, and come and be able to do like a lot of different types of work. But I appreciate you, cultivating your craft and helping
subconscious patterns and programming. But
and talk about things that are important in today's world as well. And I agree with you. I think that sort of the designers, the architects of our society probably would benefit from having a little yin and yang with their coffee in the morning, because I think most people every day are just sort of confused by what's going on out there, because nobody's really thinking about what everybody else is thinking about, and sort of everybody's making the decision for, purpose, as opposed to thinking that there may be interaction based on a decision that a lot of people have to make. But hopefully, they'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll figure it out. All of you who have joined us today and yesterday and will join us for the rest of the week, the reason why we do this in January, right, is to motivate you, to inspire, to get you thinking about the future, to get you thinking about all the steps that you can take to make the world more inclusive, a better place, to make change in a positive way. And so now this is a way of introspectively looking at it, and so I hope that you think about this as we move forward. And I want to thank you for being here and taking this opportunity to engage with us today. And we continue this afternoon and later on in the week. And I look forward to seeing you at those workshops. And again, Namibia, thank you so much. Congratulations. I hope everything's going well with the baby at home. I wish you all the best in the new year. And I say goodbye for now, so I can get ready for the next session.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And I just
bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.